Why, hello, darlings. Is my mic too low? Hang on one second. I don't want it to be like too high where it's like practically yelling at you, but yeah, about that. One second. Whoops. I guess it's not going any further. Anywho, here we are. What is today? I don't even know anymore. But I'm sorry, darlings. I am sneaking in this recap the Ultimatum South Africa, episode 4 Jealousy and Suspicions. And then I have on here like unwashed dishes. Oh my goodness. Anyhow, as I'm watching this episode, the lyrics, I kid you not, the lyrics to Elvis Presley's song Suspicious Minds. I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but if you haven't, just check it out. So the song is called Suspicious Minds, and it comes to the forefront of my mind while watching this episode, really the show, especially the first three lines where it's Elvis sings, "We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby." Okay, I know your auntie tried. Don't throw tomatoes at me. But anyway, that's that. So these couples, for me, are definitely caught in a trap of their own making, for sure. Like they've trapped themselves in this cage, and while they're seeking to move past, to break free, they don't actually want to enjoy the freedom without the person they were caged in with. So, really, they're hoping to create a new cycle with the same person and bring the same issues to that new cycle. I mean, I can't. They just want to keep reliving this never ending story. I don't want to say cycle because I've said it like so many times, but they just want to keep reliving that same story with the same person, hoping for a different outcome, basically. So, I mean, sure, we're seeing differences, or they're seeing differences here and there with their new selected partners for the 3 week trial marriage, but I don't know, I feel like they're likely going to end up back together with what's familiar. Like the comforting feeling of, what's familiar. I feel is what's keeping these couples playing the same sad refrain. So let's start with Fabi and Lindele, who so far have been living together and again this trial marriage. Lindele is very comfortable doing domestic chores, cooking, cleaning, all that good stuff, and he's even organized, which Fabi appreciates. He's quite thoughtful and caring towards Tabby, and she feels that she may even fall in love with him after this experiment or even during this experiment. And I can see them together. I can. But they may need to see themselves without the rose colored glasses, or they'll end up in a relationship that mirrors what they left behind, or even back with their ex for that matter. Um, Now we have Lebo and Aiden, who both made the decision very early on that they were just going to be roommates and friends and will not be crossing any threshold to see if they would be good marriage partners, because they're both quite committed to their partners who they came on the show with. So let's move it along. Next, we have Nola and Ruth, whose palpable compatibility has been heating up our screens. And don't tell me you guys didn't notice, because hello, even though Ruth has never cohabitated with a romantic partner before, she may just be considering this with Nola, who tickles her bones each time he's around. Girl, I mean, he makes her truly happy. Hello. When I said tickle her bones, I mean like her funny bones. Get your mind out of the gutter, you bad child. Mm. Of course, Nola reciprocates this feeling as well, and they simply jive and they fit in that pretty picture that each of them have actually imagined for their ideal partners. But what is a trial marriage if there will not be a bit of mischief, huh? So Lebo and Aiden both decided to pull a sort of a prank on themselves and the other couples. And this is to go to each of the couples' villas because their bedrooms are like facing out. And you can see in because it's a glass wall. So they went spying on people. And Lebo, being Lebo, she definitely was not ready for the closeness she saw between Ruth and Nola. Nola is the partner that she came to the experiment with. She saw that Nola and Ruth were hanging out in bed, and of course, in very close proximity to each other. And it sent Lebo into a tizzy. She confronts Nola. She basically created a scene. The green eyed monster took over, and Lebo was not ready for the power it can wield, for sure. For Ruth, what is that noise? Hang on one second. Anyway, anyway, so for Ruth, um, she also feels like she was sort of attacked as well in this incident because her privacy was invaded as well as Nola's. And as we know, the premise of the experiment may have been lost on Lebo. Like, she should just throw in the towel and ask Nola to leave with her. Like, just go, period. But at the same time, Ruth isn't entirely convinced that Nola is really firm in his conviction of wanting to have a relationship with her outside of the experiment. Because, and for Ruth, and I can't fault her for feeling this way, she feels that Nola is keeping his options open with both Ruth and Lebo. Like, if one doesn't pan out, he still has the other. I mean, hey, fair. That's just fair. As for Courtney and Genesis, it's an uphill battle for Genesis. Courtney is proving to be too hard of a nut to crack. I mean, she's not as bad as Kanye, like, Ice Queen, and just kind of like narcissistic in her view of things. But she's very aloof. And I really don't know why she's on the show either. But anywho, she has her armor around her and, hasn't been willing to allow for a deeper connection with Genesis for their trial marriage to progress further. Then, speaking of Kanye and Isaac, this coupling really threw me for a loop. They don't seem to actually get along, at least for me. It's like Isaac wanted someone completely opposite his partner and chose Kanye, the ice queen. She's like the one who's been throwing jabs at the other contestants and like is so self-centered she can't seem to see her true reflection in the mirror. She's obviously my least favorite contestant this season. And case in point, when she sees her ex, Nikiteko, and Sisakele walking about, having fun in each other's companies, Kanye snarkily commented about Sisakele being too heavy for Nikiteko as Nikiteko was giving Sisakele a piggyback ride. Like, girl, um, tell you, tell me you're jealous without telling me you're jealous. Okay, I see you. She wasn't the only one because Lindile, who was Sisakele's ex, also witnessed the piggyback ride, and this also bruised his ego. Look, Tabby is right. Um, Lindile should not be expecting Sisakele to act in a way that conforms only to his sensibilities because if that's exactly how you wanted your partner, your original partner to act, why are you there to begin with, right? It would be like the opposite of the point of the experiment if that were the case. And now we are off to the couples meeting each other's families or friends or both. First, we have Isaac who's bringing Kanye to meet with his cousin Joseph and his friend Moses. Wait a minute. He actually brought Kanye to meet with people in his life, but not Ruth, who's been his girlfriend and has never been introduced to anyone he's actually close to. Like, wow, okay, Isaac. I'm just side eyeing hardcore for sure. I'm glad though Isaac's friend Moises was like not drinking the Kool-Aid that is Kanye. He was firing ballistics type questions at her and Isaac too, and is not off the mark when he called Kanye a gold digger. Damn. These folks do not mince words. I love it. I love it. We also see Lebo and Aiden meet with Lebo's friend, Abigail. She also doesn't pull any punches and shares her opinions in a matter of fact way that's both inquisitive but not rude. She acknowledges that Lebo can go all out for Nola and her just to make sure everything is okay, which can be detrimental to their relationship as apparent in their joining the show. Then off, I was gonna say we're off to see the wizard. I don't even know why that popped in my head. Now we see Isaac and Kanye discussing what each actually thinks of marriage. For Kanye, she's not sure she actually wants to be married, but wasn't she the one that brought her ex to the show? Because she's not willing to wait another December, or am I wrong? And then Isaac presses her on with like what makes a good wife. To which Kanye responds, she doesn't actually know, but she feels like she's a good girlfriend. Um, Isaac, for his opinion, feels like good girlfriend is someone who considers his partner's feelings, who is caring, who helps their partner pursue their dreams and pushes them towards their goals, achieving their goals. But that doesn't sit well with Kanye, who interjects that girlfriends and wives are not mothers. She feels that she's great in the give and take aspect of relationships, but won't compromise what she is comfortable with just to keep a man. She feels that anyone who wants to be with her should know she's the prize and should be able to conform and provide for her needs emotionally and financially. Like, she wants that hard wig, soft life. Mm-hmm. Miss Ma'am. I don't think this current partner can give you that. Or your original partner. I'm just saying. And as the episode comes to an end, towards the end, we see some of the couples do couples yoga. This is where Genesis and Courtney finally shares a tender moment when they're physically touching. Like Genesis even mentioned seeing how blue Courtney's eyes are. Like, do y'all not speak and look at each other? I mean, anyway, moving along. Genesis is also seeking bro time with Nola, as he wanted a different perspective on his trial marriage with Courtney. He says he's happy with the progress in his and Courtney's coupling, so I don't know, maybe he still has reservations because he feels like Courtney still has her walls up and he hopes she finds him trustworthy enough to let him take a peek inside. Off to the side, Ruth and Sister Kelly are kikiing about their partner. Sister Kelly, she says she's even considered leaving her original partner, Lindy Lay, for Nicoteko. Okay. The traits she's seen from Nicoteko are the same ones she's not seen in Lindy Lay. Okay. Is this foreboding? Ooh. As for Ruth, she admits that she's grown closer to Nola, who keeps things light and fun, as opposed to her original partner, Isaac, who, for Ruth, doesn't even crack jokes. He's not fun at all. But then, girl, why were you with him this entire time and even gave him the ultimatum? Anyway, I am side eyeing you too, girl. As for Nicoteko, he was just told by Courtney that he's basically the punching bag to his original partner Kanye. Like, damn. Ooh, strong words, girl. Strong words. But then again, Nicoteko doesn't correct Courtney either, so there must really be truth to this. And as this episode will definitely not be ending without fireworks, we see Isaac and Kanye in their villa, having their differences come to the surface in an explosive meeting. It starts off innocuous enough with like dirty dishes left in the sink, which Isaac has noticed Kanye ignores or doesn't actually think it's her duty to clean. Okay, so I had to ask, does this feel like a murder maid? Like, that is gross. Like Isaac said, he does the dishes before he leaves for work and, doesn't want to return home to a sink full of dirty dishes when Kanye has been home hanging out on her phone and maybe trying on better wigs because, girl, those edges. Sad eye. And so it begins. Kanye is not the domestic kind. She won't wash dishes she's actually used. We'll even leave them out. Leave them until like someone else takes care of them. Or when like, I don't know, maybe when she finally runs out of dishes to use. Who knows? It was her disdain for being told she needs to also pitch in with like, something small as that. That is so annoying to me. Like, girl, get on out of here already. Like, go find someone who can afford the lifestyle you have in mind for yourself. Why? This argument ends with Isaac leaving their villa, and we'll have to wait for the next episode's recap and commentary to know where he went and what transpires afterwards. Okay. So, darlings, you guys already know you are all kinds of fabulous, and I am again grateful for the 146 subscribers we have so far. My goal is 200 subs. Yes, I know it's small, but I started with 0 subs. So at 146, we're not doing badly towards our goal, right? And again, if you haven't yet subscribed to my itty bitty boutique channel, would you mind being my YouTube friend and subscribing to my fabulous little boutique of a channel? I call it boutique because, boutiques are like small little fun stores. Anywho, also fabulous folks, let's not forget to try to leave grace for others as well as to always remember to journey in gratitude. My darling dears, I shall see you in the next recap. Toodaloo for now. Bye.